Alright guys, so this is the third attempt we're doing at this because the sun has finally set behind the mountain and the lighting's actually going to be decent. Hi, welcome back. We are headed on a little road trip, so we figured we are going to start a video because I promised you guys an adventure and I really dropped the ball on that one, so we're going to give this another shot. Today I have my friend Elaine with me.
Hello.
We lived together this past year. We lived in a frat house together. Yes, I said frat house.
Don't ask.
It was not a legitimate it was a legitimate frat house, but we were not fraternity brothers. We were in sororities, not the same one. And that brings us full circle to the topic of this video. We are going to be talking about Greek life. And I picked this topic mostly for the fact of I've seen a lot of videos of my experience through recruitment, my experience in Greek life, and they're all cool, they're all valid, they explain very, very well about what the recruitment process is and like what sororities are really about and whatnot. But we're here to kind of give you the truth about Greek life that no one's really talking about. No one's talking about hazing, no one's talking about the misconceptions, no one's talking about the stigma, no one's talking about what happens when something bad happens. And we went to Penn State and we had some really bad stuff happen with Greek life, especially in the last 2 years. And we're both recent graduates, so we were there for these terrible things. And so we kind of just want to bring them to light without giving too much detail because honestly, we don't know a lot because we weren't there for the specific event. We were just at the school and involved in Greek life while these tragedies went around. So we were affected by these, like I said, these changes and everything else. So without further ado, we are going to jump right into that. The first thing I kind of want to talk about is hazing. I feel like, especially like with sororities, like you expect like this like just demeaning, degrading kind of lose all of your self-confidence kind of hazing. Would you agree with that?
I think a lot of movies show sororities as that there's like a bunch of people rushing a sorority and there's like these 4 girls that are like head cheerleader types and they're really mean. Like you've all seen all those movies where there's like the new sorority member and she's like shy and kind of a loser and then she blossoms into this beautiful sorority member.
That's not how it is.
That's not how it is.
This is not how it is. Honestly, I was actually very let down at the fact of how I was not hazed at all. Like, not even in the slightest. I felt like I didn't even like earn my place in my sorority while I would. Now, here's another thing. We're not allowed to call it pledging anymore. We have to call it the new member process. So during my new member process, I didn't really feel like I earned my spot. I kind of just felt like I went to recruitment, I got my bid, I was in. I just kind of had to go to class and learn about my sorority for 10 weeks. Like, I learned about the history, I learned all the ritual, I learned all of that. Took a test, made sure I knew what I was supposed to know.
You can't take tests now either.
You can't take tests now either? What? We had to get a 90 or above on this, and like honestly, the tests are hard. It's who's your exec board? What's your symbol? What are your values?
Chapter in the US.
What's your philanthropy? Wait, what?
We had to memorize all the chapters in the United States.
Oh, we didn't have to do that.
We didn't do that.
No, we didn't have to do that. We
had quizzes.
We had to memorize the Greek alphabet. Like art, like
you should know the Greek alphabet.
Yeah, like if you're in Greek life, you don't know the Greek alphabet. There's an issue here, especially since there's like songs on YouTube. Like I'm gonna link like the one that we learned like down below because like it was just fun. There's some really stupid things that are considered hazing,
but newly like considered hazing. I think the definition of hazing has changed so much.
Well,
since it used to be.
Like giving like on bid day, new girls run out to their sororities and they join them and hug them and blah blah blah. And like you see in recruitment videos, like they usually get given a different colored shirt, so this way, like you know who a new member is versus who an older member is. That's hazing. That is hazing. Like what? I don't understand that. That actually helps like me out, like especially like when I was a senior and we had bid day. We already have a sorority of 200 girls, and then being a senior and there being 200 girls, I actually ran into issues where I didn't know who was a new member versus who was just a younger member but was initiated. So that honestly would be very helpful to like a senior who's not necessarily as involved anymore, but still there to welcome all the new people.
And just like terms as well, not being allowed anymore. Like you said, we can't call them pledges.
Yeah, no pledges. It's not pledging.
Babies.
Oh yeah, you can't call like new members babies anymore, which honestly, I loved being called a baby. I found it so cute, like, and endearing, and like when someone said it, I would just like feel like so internally happy. Yeah, no, not allowed to do that anymore. It's hazing.
It's just changed a lot, and it's in reaction to the media. Every school is afraid of backlash. National's afraid of backlash, and it's changed the definition of a lot of things, including hazing.
Like Greek life organizations are kicking themselves off campuses because they don't feel like dealing with universities and legislation over something as simple as they told someone who had like specific like dietary needs to bring their own food to like a barbecue that they were having at a fraternity that the fraternity was hosting, and the girl freaking out that there wasn't any food options for her. You were told that's not hazing, but like, so I know like a couple of stories, like not just like at Penn State, but like at other schools too, that have been put on probation for events such as that, and then them just being like, we're not dealing with this. Like, we literally told her, like, the frat's in charge of the food. They're not gonna have anything for you to eat. We know you're vegan, we know you're vegetarian, we know you're gluten-free. Like, if you need something of that nature, we're sorry, but you are gonna have to bring it yourself because the frat's not going to provide it. If you didn't bring your own food, that's on you. I'm sorry, that's not hazing. And especially if the sorority wasn't in charge of the food.
I think it takes away from like what hazing actually is too, which is the sad part, because there is hazing that still goes on around, and it's very dangerous sometimes, and it's obviously something we need to like change and change that culture. But when you call these small things hazing, it takes away from what
actually is hazing, what actually is hurtful, what actually is harmful. What if you were getting like your body circled with a permanent marker to find all of your cellulite? Like, no, that's messed up. And to be fair, my entire body would be covered in permanent marker if that was the case. And I'd be like, check me out, I'm a human being. Actually, no, I'd probably go cry myself to sleep. But
that is hazing.
I like to think I'd be strong. But no, that is hazing. That is legitimate hazing. Like,
you cannot solve a problem unless you define it correctly.
Yeah, like being told, oh, you have to lose 5 pounds by initiation or you're not getting initiated. That's hazing.
Or with a certain number of guys.
Or you have to do drugs, you have to drink this alcohol, you have to be with this boy.
Get dropped off in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, getting like pulled out of your bed in the middle of the night, dropped off in the woods and no phone with your pledge class and be like, hey, find your way back. That's all hazing, and like that's not okay, that's not cool. Like my one friend, she in her sorority, different from us two, she for her last week before being initiated had to live on her sorority floor in the suite for a week. Like, but they did it like kind of cool. So like the sorority provided them 3 meals a day, and like it would be like certain times, like through certain times you could come and get food. If like you had class during those times, they would make sure that they would feed you, whatever. They made the entire suite into like a giant bed with like mattresses and pillows and whatnot. And you had to be there to like bond with your pledge class. So you had to be there to like talk to them, be with them, and blah 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 blah. And you left to go to class, you left to go to the bathroom, you left when you had academic obligations. But if you didn't have those obligations, you were on the floor bonding with your sisters. And due to like the new definitions of hazing, that's considered hazing. But she's so close with her sisters because of that. She's so close with her pledge class, and she said that week was the week that they finally like came together, and it was like, no, like we're sisters, like we're best friends, like this is something we're doing together that we're gonna have to just do. And they didn't force them to do anything besides just they had to live there. Like that was it. A friend of mine, like she had to walk around carrying either lollipops or a condom, and like an older member would be like, hey, give me a lollipop. You give them a lollipop. If you didn't have one, be like, oh, I'm out, or I don't have one, or I gave it away. And they'd be like, okay, cool, awesome. And they would walk away. Not a big deal. Like that's pretty simple. Especially like there's no repercussion for not really having it. But like things like that are considered hazing. Now I kind of want to get into like the misconceptions of Greek life. For me, like I always want to do like with the movies and like house bunnies, stepsisters, and things of that nature. You think, and like even Legally Blonde, like that's all drinking, partying, mixers, boys, clam bake. You gotta wear a lily pulsar, and like if your hair's not like blonde and like perfect, and you're not like tan and like super skinny, like you're just not gonna be accepted. I found that to really not be the case.
I feel like some sororities are like that.
No, like obviously, like every sorority that like I've seen, like they have like a look about them, but
I think if you know that that's going on, you don't have to join that sorority. Like, it isn't like no one's forcing you to join the sorority. If you connect with these people and you're like, you really want to be in that sorority, it's fine. But if you have values that are more similar to another sorority that doesn't have those requirements, then that's what's better for you.
Every sorority that like I've come in contact with, like they focus way more on academics than anything else. Like the socials, formals, and like all the philanthropy events, you're not allowed to go to them if you have a low GPA. Like if you mess up a semester, like for mine, like specifically, if you got under a 3.0, like just a 3.0, you were only allowed to go to one formal because we had two, and you had to do study hours to like make sure that you were studying to like increase your GPA. And depending on like how low of a GPA you got, that had how many study hours you got. So yeah, like, and your sorority, what would they like? Because you had to be a science or engineering major to be in it, right?
Yes, you had to be a science or engineering major or be pursuing that major if you hadn't gotten in. If you were not in those majors, you could not be in our sorority. But that's just because we were focused academically, and that was just a guideline. But other than that, we were social sorority, so we were participating in all homecoming and thaw and events and like every other sorority, but we just had that one requirement, so that was different.
Also, like one big misconception I think there's is that like when you join a sorority, like that is your life. You do nothing else. That's really not the case. Like especially like mine, like they encourage, like not only encourage you like to join other organizations, they encourage you to have leadership positions in those organizations, and they gave you like credit and honor like towards that. Like we had to get points to go to formal. Like you had to earn the right to go to formal. Like you couldn't just be like, oh, I'm in the sorority, I'm going. Like you had to prove that like I'm part of the sisterhood, I'm doing stuff to better myself in the sorority, here's how I'm doing it, and you would get points based on like whatever it was. So like getting A's on a test, holding a leadership position in another organization, raising so much money for our philanthropies. You had to earn like the quote unquote fun stuff to do. You didn't just get them just because you were in the sorority. Another big like misconception I feel is like that I actually hate when people say this is like, oh, how's it feel to pay for your friends? No, I'm not paying for my friends. I can choose to like who I want, and I can choose to not be a fan of who I want in my sorority. What I'm paying for is my membership dues. I'm paying for money to go into the budget so we can do things like formals and hay rides and sisterhood events and movie nights and get food for different events. Like that is what my dues are going to. My dues aren't going to the people. Like if that was the case, then they should be like, I would get money back in some way, shouldn't I? If I was paying for friends, like, shouldn't I make like a profit off that then? The logic just doesn't like sit well to me for that one. There's also been a lot of stuff like recently with people trying to be more tolerant, people trying not to be offensive, everyone being more open-minded about things. And like that being said, like we've done, like our generation as millennials has taken steps to like not wear like Native American costumes at Halloween, to like not appropriate someone's culture into being something that it's not. Elaine here is dead. Elaine here is Greek. She's 100% Greek.
The nationality.
Yeah, like the actual nationality Greek. Not just like, oh, I'm in Greek life, because then little Irish girl over here would be like, oh, I'm Greek. But no, Elaine is 100% Greek. She's lived in Greece. She knows the culture, like everything. So that being said, how do you feel about Greek life at colleges?
So my view on this has actually changed like 180, because when I was in high school and I was hearing about Greek life and the media like being so harsh about it, I heard only bad things. And the movies were not that great either. I kind of felt like my culture was becoming something that was not what it really was. Like my culture, it's about being kind to people, being loyal, and the beauty of the world and beauty of different diversities and stuff like that. And then Greek life was making it more about drinking and partying and drugs, and that made me really not want to be in Greek life. It made me very offended, to be honest. So I got an email saying, hey, like we're a science and engineering sorority and we're holding recruitment. And so I went to it in the spring. I was open-minded. I was like, I'm just gonna go see. It seems kind of cool. and I fell in love because the women were beautiful, the women were smart and kind and had honor and were loyal, and they loved each other, and that's kind of what I felt like I was missing from college at that point. So I joined Greek life, and I think it's amazing. So my view of it's changed completely. But
I feel like movies like Animal House, House Bunny, So Undercover, Stepsisters, like just like different movies like that, like they give such a stigma to Greek life. And actually, like I did watch the movie So Undercover. The one thing I did like that they said, like one of their biggest values is a sister. Like if there's a sister in need, like you help them. That's true. Like
that's true. Yeah.
There's been so many times that I'm like, crap, like I'm doing really, really bad in this class, and like I've had girls that like we weren't really like we didn't like not like each other, we just like weren't friends, and they'd be like, hey, like I heard you're struggling in this class, like this is my major, like I can help explain to you like in like normal people words. And I wound up like passing like my anthropology class because one of my sorority sisters, who was an anthro major, sat down and actually explained things to me in pure English instead of science terms, and then I finally got it and I wound up passing the class. That's honestly what I got out of the sorority that I appreciated so much, was just having that outlet of I do have someone I can turn to if I need to. That's what a sisterhood is about. Like, and my ABS, she basically said, you are all sisters, but that doesn't mean you have to be friends. Like, you are all in the same sisterhood, you all have this bond, you all are joined together by this sisterhood. That doesn't mean you have to like each other. That doesn't mean you have to be friends with each other. But that does mean you have to respect yourself and your sisters. And for me, that hit home because it's like, yeah, you're right.
And if someone in the sorority was not following those values, they get kicked out. Like,
yeah, but
it's not just words. It's just different because Greek life is not like joining a club.
It's not. It's joining a sisterhood. It's joining a family. It is
a family. But for me, though, being in my sorority really helped me open up as a person because I was really shy. In high school, I was friends with mostly guys. That's just my personality. That's what I'm more comfortable with.
Oh my god, yeah, no, I did not have girlfriends until I joined sorority.
I don't know how to girl flirt. I don't know how to do it.
That's what recruitment is. It's straight girl flirting. Like,
I could never do it. Okay. But being in a sorority, being in a leadership position in my sorority made me different. It made me grow. And I'd never be the person I am today, have the confidence I have today, if I did not go through that experience.
Alright guys, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything that you think that we should touch on more, or any opinions you guys have, please leave that down in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit that little button to make sure you get videos every single time, well, notifications every single time I post a video. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye!